The Xtract 2 provides safe and rapid casualty extraction from the hazardous location. By using best practice in manual handling, the Xtract 2 reduces exposure to the hostile location, reducing the chance of secondary injury. The Xtract 2 has been specifically designed to be carried in operational equipment and to be available at the point of injury. The Xtract 2 has been tested to far in excess of anything it will meet operationally. The Xtract 2 has been designed to cope with casualties who have suffered full or partial lower limb amputation and can be quickly adjusted to fit casualties ranging from 1.5 to 2.1 meters. Securely cocooned within the Xtract 2, dressings and tourniquets are protected from becoming dislodged, and the casualty gains protection from hypothermia. Once on the Xtract 2, the casualty need not be removed until arrival at definitive care. Using the Xtract 2 to place the casualty onto any secondary evacuation platform will reduce the risk of secondary injury. Roll out the Xtract 2 next to your casualty and align the red shoulder handles with the casualty's shoulders. This ensures the casualty will be securely positioned once in the stretcher. A simple log roll will quickly and safely load your casualty into the Xtract 2. Try to ensure that the casualty is loaded centrally on the stretcher. Once the casualty is loaded, use the red drawstring at the feet to adjust the stretcher to the correct length, securing and protecting the casualty. The Xtract 2 has been specifically designed to cope with casualties with traumatic amputations. Continue to adjust the lower portion of the stretcher until it fits securely around the casualty. Dressings and tourniquets that have been applied to the casualty will gain protection against being dislodged during the evacuation. Additional security is gained by lacing the elastic bungee system through the holes provided. Secure by using the carabiner at the shoulder area. To further secure and protect the casualty, use the red drawstring at the head end to adjust the stretcher for a comfortable fit. Before moving, recheck the casualty to ensure they are secure and well positioned. The Xtract 2 has 8 handles located to support the casualty in key locations. Once loaded into the stretcher, utilize as many rescuers as are available to move the casualty to a safe location. The handles at the head, shoulders and pelvis are positioned to support the casualty's critical areas, and these should be used where appropriate to provide as much protection to the casualty as possible. Depending on the injury, it may be necessary to load the casualty on their side. This can be achieved with Xtract 2. When loading in this position, ensure the head is adequately supported. If lifting the casualty is not feasible, then dragging may be the best option. Remove the long drag sling from the head end of Xtract 2. This will enable rescuers to utilize large muscle groups and be much more biomechanically efficient, greatly reducing the physical stress to the rescuer. To reduce the risk of secondary injury, dragging a casualty should only be used when the operational parameters indicate that carrying is not an option. Note that if the casualty has already been dragged for a significant distance, the structure of the stretcher may have been damaged. A test lift, raising the casualty only a few centimeters off the ground, should be conducted to ensure that the Xtract 2 has not suffered critical damage. A hands-free carry can be used with the Xtract 2. 2 rescuers, using a carabiner and a sling each, loop the slings around the pelvis handles on each side, then attach the carabiner to the red handles. Pull the sling over a shoulder, reassess that the casualty is secure, then commence a lift. The prevention of heat loss should start as soon as feasible after the injury. If available, a sleeping mat can and should be inserted into the Xtract 2. if the casualty is going to be on the ground for any period of time. If it is not possible to be done prior to loading the casualty, then, as a secondary consideration, once in a safe location, the casualty should be placed on an insulated surface, and steps should be taken to protect the casualty from hypothermia. The Xtract 2 is compatible with current hypothermia prevention systems. These systems can be packaged around the casualty once they're in the Xtract 2. Keep the casualty dry and replace any wet clothing if possible. Start by securing the insulation around the casualty's lower extremities inside the Xtract 2. If using a self-heating blanket or warming cells, they should be placed around the casualty prior to securing other layers. Move up the casualty one side at a time. Get as much insulation underneath the casualty as possible, whilst keeping the casualty movement to a minimum. It may be necessary to fold over standard hypothermia prevention blankets, but this will be of benefit to the casualty as it provides them with additional layers of insulation. Secure the Xtract 2 over the hypothermia prevention blankets. If a specific hypothermia prevention system is not available, use poncho liners, dry sleeping bags, or anything that will retain heat. Whilst it may be practical to reuse this stretcher on a number of separate occasions, in certain circumstances, the safe working life of the Xtract 2 will be a single use. Before repacking for reuse, the Xtract 2 should be thoroughly checked to ensure that it is serviceable. If any part of the stretcher appears to be suffering from any damage, such as cuts, tears or abrasions, or it is contaminated by chemicals or body fluids, it should be discarded immediately. Pay special attention to the base of the stretcher and the stitching around the handles. Remove as much dirt from the stretcher as possible. Sand and small stones may damage the stretcher if it is packed away dirty. The Xtract 2 should always be packed away dry, and it should be stored away from sunlight in a dry location. The Xtract 2 provides you with a lightweight, rapid extraction platform, which will secure and protect the casualty and reduce your exposure to the hostile location. Thank you for watching.